42. This is Douglas Adams' Meaning of Life. Very special.
One.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna crack mine too.
I think we're good. I can't. You know, that's the thing is I can't tell whether or not.
It's hard to tell. Oh wait, I bet we are. Yep, we're live.
We're live. All right.
Facebook just said so.
Well, then if Facebook said so, then it is. Here we go, D.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Boom.
Greetings and welcome once again and for the last time. Very Dad Ideas going live for episode 42, the midlife crisis, and yes, the end. Mercifully, dads. I mean, seriously, I forgot to turn the dryer off. It's going over. I mean, what is that? Kind of a professional. No, flame sword, flame sword, flame sword, flame sword. No. Oh God! Every time. Right through the rings of the sword. There. That's.
You got a new.
Yeah, I do. Now, I inherited a flame sword.
Inherited a flame sword. That's nice, man.
Yeah, man. So I don't need this show anymore. Me and this, I'm gonna be off chopping heads.
Are you gonna take it with us to the next one, or are you, you know? I think you're gonna leave it here with the dads.
Flame sword. Maybe the flame sword will go with us. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's shitty against missile protection. I'm hoping that Autobot doesn't show up in the next iteration of it. I seriously, I left the dryer on.
We haven't done.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, you want to turn that off? Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome. This is episode 42.
Yeah.
The very
episode
last.
42. The very last
of the dads.
And it ends with a midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis and the end of the dad. So this is our last episode that we'll be doing as Very Dad Ideas. We are going to trash the title and come back fresh next week and a new brand, a new thing.
It's gonna smell so fresh and so clean.
So clean. Yeah.
You're gonna be blown away. We're gonna be blown away. I think we're thinking of new names, and we're just floating right now. The Live with Nye and D.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Live with Nye or D and Nye live.
But I mean, my name's not D, so maybe I should say Darren. I mean, I feel like that's like the least bankable name that you've ever heard because there's just not that many Darrens. But
there's not that many Nyes either.
There aren't. So, maybe that's what it is. So it's like Nye and Darren, or Darren and Nye. Live with Nye and Darren.
I think that's going to be some sort of permutation of those two. I think it's going to be like just our names, and then either we call it like talk show or we go live or whatever it is. So let's some D while this is election night. So let's make sure we call.
Let's make sure we are not like at all missing out on all of our updates because this is friggin' nuts.
Yeah, so it looks like at this particular point that the Democrats have a 95% chance of winning the House, and it looks like a 95% chance that the Republicans will maintain and control the Senate. Right. So, not too much of a surprise.
This is sort of what we thought was going to happen.
Sort of what we thought that was going to happen.
And if it didn't happen, we were going to have to legally change the name of the United States. I think.
What would be some of those names that we could call the United States?
Just call it just Trump's.
Yeah,
and it would just be like a big Trump
T,
with an
in gold
and an apostrophe with an S because it would be possessive because he would own. Look how fast everyone jumped down. Look at Lindsey Graham today. It's just nuts.
Yeah. So since we have no dad advice, I guess we'll just go straight into.
We have no time for dad advice on an important episode like now, where it's the end of the dad.
The last episode.
Crises, and we're deciding whether or not we're going to be a United States of, like just a bunch of states, or.
Yeah. So I wanted to lay in on my midlife crisis. I'm now 43 years old, and
let's all take a drink.
Yeah,
he's 43.
That. Yeah. So I've been in this place now for a few months, which is looking for a gig and not knowing what's next. And there's this weird dichotomy of like, wow, I think I'm really good at what I do, but at the same point, obviously, I'm not that good because I ain't working. It's a really weird experience to go through, and so it's especially compounded right now, and I'm dealing with it. But I mean, it is. I guess this is what it is. This is what you have to do if you're an artist, right? You got to be like, there's good times and there's bad times. You know, you chose not to be the lawyer or the accountant or whatever, and so that's the shit that you're at. So
yeah.
This is where I'm at right now,
dude.
D.
It's famine, and the famine part is really fucking awful. And like you covered in what you said, I mean, that's what you get when you are a gig economist. Is it like you do a great job, so you get the job, and then the job's over, and that takes as long as it takes, and the money's what it is. There's no more of it. Right. You have to go out and do the same, like, sort of. That's my dryer. My dryer is sympathizing with you.
But D, let me ask you this: do you think if you went back to what you are, like, you know, you're 44 or whatever, go back to the 20-year-old Darren and say, "Listen, man, this career, I know you think you're going to do it. Let me tell you what it's going to be 20 years from now."
You're not necessary. They have you already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the truth is, like, you're not going to listen.
Yeah, if I went back, yeah, exactly. No, you wouldn't. So, right? Or would you? I don't know. And then what would I do? What would you do? I mean, because if you go back in time, then really what you do is just do what Biff did in Back to the Future and fucking bet on sports and just take your money and, I don't know, drive your Ferrari that way, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it all depends on. I mean, it all depends on your mortgage, right? I mean, if your bottom line is like, if you're getting crushed on your bottom line monthly, then yeah, that's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right. It's the worst fucking thing in the world, and there's I don't know, man. Shit is hard.
It is hard.
It's every fucking month, you know, and we live. You know, you live in a crazy expensive fucking place.
Yeah.
And I do, and like that's no excuse.
But I think my philosophy, right? my problem right now is philosophical and a lot more. It's sort of like I have chosen to get good at something that I feel like has an enormous technical difficulty to it, right? And I've gotten good at that, but yet the marketplace is not valuing it enough that I'm, you know, whereas somebody at a mediocre level can work in another field and still maintain regular employment. And I think that was. I'm fluctuating between.
Well, and you gotta live the rest of your life. You got to raise 2 kids, and there's all this stuff that has to happen.
So here we go. This is a small portion of the crisis that I'm going with. You know,
dude.
It is.
I know,
it is,
and
right?
I feel like our parents only had one midlife crisis. You know, they divorced, they bought the convertible, whatever they did. Like, I think our generation...
This is ongoing.
Yeah, I think our generation, like, literally we have them, like, every 7 or 8 years or something like that. You just keep getting them. There's just a flavor to them, and it's delightful, right? I mean, like, who couldn't get enough?
You gotta waft it. You have to waft the crisis in.
Let it all stink in there, and just, like, have the midlife crisis. Oh, it's particularly good tonight. You know, like, we're fucked, man. Like, I don't know. I think our generation, just most of the people I know, like with the gigs, just gigs, you know, just the one-time payout or maybe a cycle or two of residuals or something like that. But it's rough, dude. It's rough, and you know that's why the state has trapped us into marriage, because they've made it so expensive that people have to like jam together. You know?
Well, D, I think it's we're going to go back to our we're going to figure out what we're going to call ourselves. Let's say Darren and Nye, maybe, or Nye and Darren. I mean, hey, it looks like we got a couple people. Martin Kaplan and Allison Crumblin have been.
I know Allison Crumbine. Her name's Crumbine. You can't call her Crumbine.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, so next week we're going to come back as D and Nye. Or something along those lines.
Or Nye and Darren.
I don't
figure that out by the end of the show.
Yeah, and I will post all of the remainder dads on the website and on our blog and in our podcast through Buzzsprout, and then come find us at our new phrase, whatever that is. I guess we'll post it all over and blast it out.
Dude,
so
we have like a few subscribers, and we'll toss it there, and we would love it if you guys would pick us up there, just because it's basically going to be
the same
just
thing.
Yeah. Wait.
I think it's going to be a little bit more optimized, though. We'll figure it out.
Oh,
yeah, we'll need like a new logo, right? Don't you think? Maybe we should just.
Yeah, I mean, we could just have that as a badge, right? That could just be sitting somewhere along the sides.
We certainly can.
Yeah.
Maybe we make like a new. There's this great website called Logo Pond.
Ah.
And it's got all these great logos on it. Maybe we'll find like some animal or wave to represent us or whatever.
Or a toucan. That sounds great.
Or toucan or some.
Or snake walk.
Some chick or whatever. So stay tuned. Next week we'll be back as a new. So D, why don't you say we take a break? Enough of this misery, and we'll do a live draw.
Listen to Gencast Remington, yeah.
Yeah, as we always do. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right.
That far ahead of the Democrat.
Yeah. All right, let's come back. All right, cool.
Bring it back.
We got back. So let's
cheers to you, second act of the show.
Yeah, let's go to our main screen here and make sure we're up. Cool.
Oh yeah.
All righty. So what are we gonna draw here, D?
Draw for the last Very Dad Ideas live draw. Right. We should draw.
I'm just gonna start drawing shit and see what comes out of it.
Maybe a donkey and an elephant in a vicious cockfight.
A donkey and an elephant, yes. Yes.
And a chicken. You could totally throw a chicken too.
But that shouldn't be the main thing. So you're right. It should be a donkey and an elephant. Let's do that.
Fighting hard. With like an elephant with sort of like a Trump hairdo.
Yeah, so it's like this.
There it is. Look at that majestic pelt, I guess. When you kill an animal and put it on your head, you call it a pelt, right? That's a pelt.
Yeah. Do you think we're treating animals badly, D?
I feel like elephants are treated badly when people put Trump helmets on them.
And they go to they go to the circus.
Yeah. They send them to the circus, and all their elephants know what's going on there. They don't have to confront him or anything, but they know he's definitely killed an animal and put it on his head.
I'm gonna put some bagginess in this.
Yeah,
this
just a slack quality to the skin.
And then on the donkey side. Right.
Those are some damn good donkey ears, my friend. Are you mousing it?
I'm mousing it, yeah.
Dude, you're kind of nailing this with the mouse.
Yeah. I like to think that I know what I'm doing, D, but
society, you like to think that.
Society has no.
Dude, that is, and it's Eddie Murphy, right? From like,
what's
the fucking Shrek?
Shrek, yeah.
Yeah.
When he sings the monkey song.
When he says, "You know what everybody like? Parfait." You ask somebody if they want parfait, and they're like, "Hell no, I don't want a parfait."
He just made like $20 million on being a
Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Mike Myers too. They made enough money on those movies that they could just go away, and that's what they did.
They kind of did, yeah.
They kind of just went away.
Um,
And it's not bad. It doesn't sound bad. That sounds pretty good.
did I ever tell you the story about when Mike Myers saw Shrek for the first time, and he had to like
Yes, it's famous, right? He's
yeah,
like
it's famous. Like
they finished like 45 minutes of it or something.
yeah, they
like
had
that.
animated all the like facial animation and done all this sort of stuff, and he looked at it and he was like, "Wow, that is totally amazing." I'm sorry, let me use a Scottish accent, and he redid the entire thing, and all the animators were like, "Oh,
God, I can only imagine. I mean, I just wouldn't you just get shot nowadays because you would just be fucking with the production so much. I mean, like they just kill you and like make a robot of you, and they would just do that.
Well, they'd have Stickman come and do it for you, right? I mean, isn't that the
Just go to Lucasfilm where they just digitize everybody and they just like pull up your file.
Yeah, I'm actually I've been doing some research this week on
Does the elephant have a jetpack on his butt?
these are both rocket launchers, I guess.
Oh yeah,
But
dude.
they're kind of
They're
wavy
rocket
rocket
launcher,
launchers.
yeah. It's like ticker
This
tape
is
guns.
the Trump toupee.
Look at that fucking mane, dude. It is gorgeous. Can we get a little Cheeto orange on that? Get a
I think we
color fill
can.
at some point.
Yeah, and I'll put
Yeah, for the world, baby.
the United States on here. Yeah, yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's put some color up in this bitch.
Is that the problem with is that they've got like Trump, they've got the hairdo, and like we don't have shit. We don't have like a person. Like
Yeah, I mean the Democrats really need a leader.
and we only have 2 years
Desperately.
now to like put one up. That's what the next 2 years is going to be
Well,
about.
the problem is that we're gonna just like have a parade of.
Oh, just a parade of
I
another
mean,
parade of horribles. Actually,
it's gonna be.
good.
I mean, Sanders and Biden and
Fuck. They're just like ancient white dudes. Like we have both of them. Like 70s.
I mean, the question is, do you think Hillary's going to try to do it again? And
God, I hope not. We just need somebody who.
so what's interesting is that Obama was grooming Eric Garcetti, but he, I think, is just a little too. I mean, as a mayor of Los Angeles, he's definitely come to the national scene, and he might be a good get. But I don't know. I mean. I kind of feel like at this particular point we're going to need a populist in this country, right? I don't think you're not gonna really have a Democrat, like a mainstream Democrat or a mainstream Republican, be able to capture the people.
You're gonna have to get a populist because that's all right.
Or like Oprah Winfrey or something, right? Like I don't think you're gonna get.
Dude.
Like I think
Would
this
that
is
mean
it.
Stedman would get to be vice president? Would he be like? Is that
Well, like what was the Mike Judge did that movie? Where they
idiocracy?
Idiocracy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're kind of almost there, I think.
Well, I feel like it's. I mean, he's been spot on with a lot of other comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I mean, who says we're so great? Like we just, who we think a certain thing about ourselves, but the reality is much different. Like we like to think we're like super liberal or whatever, and that's just the bubble over here. Man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's not everywhere. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy about Kansas. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see where we are. Well, I've done some coloring here, if you can tell. Let's see
Dude,
how
it looks dynamite.
how they're like we're still holding strong on the Democrat.
Yeah.
What's a good
What, and
way?
everybody wants to legalize marijuana? Is that basically what's going on? It's just like this.
Live election results, midterm election polls.
Yeah, I've got my results from like my iPhone. The Apple News app has got like 193 for the Democrats and 177 for the Republicans. There's I mean, there's still a lot of people who haven't pushed out because I mean, you need more than a couple
Certainly
of
in
hundred to
California,
control it.
we don't have anything coming back, right? certainly there's nothing coming back yet. California election results. But it looks like Feinstein is going to take it at this particular point. So, yeah, what a weird fight, right? Like the Orange County here, right?
I know. Yeah, that's the one I'm really. It's interesting because, wow.
Yeah.
Like that's you. I mean, that's always been the joke in LA is that you're like Orange County's not Republican.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's all like loosey goosey California, but not them.
What should I
don't
do
know.
for the rest of this live draw here? While we
got a little poop around his feet there. That's nice.
well, I was gonna
just shading. I know you're just making a shadow, but donkeys have to have shadows and rocket launchers. Yeah, this is good. This is all very good. I just think I think tonight was about just throwing up a check, and we did that. But historically, 2 years into any new president, a check has been made. So it's not surprising.
Yeah, how do you feel about our country in general right now, D? Let me ask you that.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like I've said it a couple times tonight too. It's just like I feel like I live in a fucking bubble, and the things that I think and tell myself and tell my friends and that we all talk about out here is just not how a lot of people feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's sort of what makes America great is that like all of these people, we can all just sort of enjoy this great nation, and we don't need to like that's fine. Like we're all united in it, and like we don't have to agree on stuff. And I just refuse to let like Trump with the polarizing shit that he does just because I got a lot of like Republican family, like, and I can't really like let that rule me because like whatever I think about it, it's like I have to have these relationships with my side of the family, and it's like a lot of them are just like straight up Republican, and like
Missouri.
I mean, and they will vote for the red guy, whoever he is, just like
just across the board.
Guy. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna save this guy out. This is our last live draw as VDI, VDI number 42, and election night. So if you are at all a follower of VDI, our very last live draw will be on our Instagram. That will be the last one that we put up before we rebrand ourselves as something Nye and D or Darren and I or vice
something
versa.
Perky, something peppy, something with a lot of bounce.
Something with a lot of balance, yeah.
Gonna be good.
That's how it is. So we still got plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually ahead of the curve. So
yeah.
I figure, what do you we feel like doing tonight on our last go out? Which one of our bits do you think you'd like to hit up?
Oh, I think it's good. That's a good one. Let's do. Yeah, let's do Cohen. Can we do Michael Cohen?
Yeah, let's absolutely do. So
I mean, not that. I mean, I heard that.
Yeah. So we have legal advice, of course.
Yeah.
Back for our last night on the show. Thank you for joining us, Michael Cohen.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Do you think,
God, Jesus.
What is it? What is your take on the?
Let me just say, you're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. I did this. This was my doing.
Oh, this is all you're doing. Thank you.
I spread my magic wings, and I've feather dusted a win for the Democrats. You're welcome.
Right. So let's say
you could send a check to me or my friends, a PO box. Just anywhere really.
What's your take?
Off-site.
What's your take on the Democrats? Sort of seems to be surging, taking the House at this particular point. Do you think this is a good thing for us as a country?
My point is always this, my friend. The world stops when I answer my phone. Do you understand? Look at look at the suit. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at the attention to detail I have in my beautiful face while I'm holding my phone. I got a lot to say, and I think, Democrats having a house. I think they should have a house. I don't want them to not have a house. I want them to be able to live somewhere. I mean, that's nice, right? I mean, the Senate's, it's no good. You want to You want to hang with your pals in some sort of, you want to listen to house music? Is that what they want? I'm not understanding the question. They like house music. I mean, that's fine. The Democrats can do whatever they want. I mean, you know, if they want to.
What would be the actions for the Democrats if they wanted to impeach Trump? Would that be a legal proceeding? I mean, you're a legal expert, so what would be the next steps on
Donald Trump is allergic to fruit, my friend. He finds fruit in his repertoire include the Coca-Cola, the diet Coca-Cola,
and cheeseburgers,
and so on, my friend, and so on. He does not have peach anything. There's no flavors to his beverages, so there will be no reason to give him impeach or peach, whatever it is you want to say.
Well, Michael Cohen, it's always a pleasure to have you. I hope you join us when we.
It's wonderful to be here. This is my show now. You guys aren't using the show anymore. It's not going to be Very Bad Ideas and Legal Advice with Michael Cohen. The show.
No, but I have a feeling that there'll be some incarnation.
I've sent payment to your people. They'll be commandeering this name, sort of a hostile takeover.
Right.
So thank you.
Thank you, man. It was very nice to have you. Well, D, that was it. That was Michael Cohen. He was back on our show.
He seemed ripped. Guys.
No, I think I'm ripped.
Guys had a couple of whiskeys, I think.
Let's take another quick break. We're going to come back and do our very last recommendation. Some coffee, Jesus. And maybe some smacking around. And we'll be right back. Okay. Thanks.
Come back.
All right, so let's take a look about where we're at. These are the California election results at this point. It looks like Dianne Feinstein is still clearly in the lead here.
Yeah, she's got that.
Yeah, she's got that. And of course, our it's looking like Gavin Newsom is.
Gavin Newsom
is the governor.
Yeah, he's got 13 points over John
Kounalakis is lieutenant governor. So, yeah, I mean, some of these props.
I mean, it's funny, right? There's only 25% of California is reporting.
Yeah.
And that's the number.
Yeah. So this is what we got. All right. So D, this is our last segment. As dads.
Last segment. Last segment is dads.
Last segment as
come back. We're gonna be so fly, just like super young and relevant, and like high energy, like a lot of quick movement. So bring your cats. Maybe. Like have your cats set up.
So do you have any recommendations for this week? Oh, you do? Okay, fantastic.
I totally do.
What do you
It's
got?
just a movie, though. It's just a movie.
That's great. What do you got?
So if you have Hulu, I think 1 and 2, but maybe 3 of the RoboCop movies are available.
Oh wow!
RoboCop is probably like
the original,
sort of like but RoboCop 2 is sort of the underrated sequel that's pretty good.
Is that the one with? I mean, the Ed 209 came back on this.
Well, it's got Peter Weller in the first one and the second one. And I'm telling you, it's his mime work that makes RoboCop into what he is today, which is like he was like a Dark Horse comic book strip. Frank Miller did a great comic on RoboCop. He's had an existence he's fought Terminators and Aliens
Yeah.
and Predators in all of those books. I mean, like, so RoboCop like has like a thing, man. People remember him.
Yeah.
And even they did it, and it had all that great, like the guy who did all the stop motion shit. All of
Phil Tippett.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
all his shit is all over those movies.
Phil
It's just
Tippett
it's a
was big
brilliant
on the Ed 209, right? This guy
Yeah.
right here, and the Ed 209 was a really awesome stop motion puppet that was done by Tippett Studio.
Yeah.
But you said something about Peter. Was it Peter Weller? You think
Yeah.
that his like pantomime of like moving the
Yeah, well, he's
puppet-
like he was one of the actors who just sort of nailed he worked as a clown, or like studied clowning, and like just sort of like the physicality is what sold it. I mean, you can really tell when you watch the third one, because Peter Weller didn't do the third movie.
Hmm.
And that's part of the reason why it's not as much fun to watch the movies, because that guy doesn't do what Peter Weller did with like every step. Like he's really made watching him, and like the robot of him, like he did that in this insane suit. I mean, that suit was
You mean the kind of like calculated head turns and the very
all of that shit. And when you watch,
Yeah.
especially when you watch him in the second one, he gets to have fun because they sort of mess with RoboCop and sort of scramble him up and shit.
Right.
It's just brilliant, and it's like it's overacted, it's hammy. It actually has. Speaking of like Mike Judge earlier, it has the dude who played Michael Bolton in Office Space is
Yeah.
like a drug dealer, or like a doctor or something in RoboCop 2. Like there's just great actors in it all over the place, and it's like it's very hammy, but and again, I think they shot him in Detroit, so I mean you gotta love that.
Yeah, I mean Peter Weller was great in what was it? The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, right? Wasn't he? So he
Yeah.
was kind of always the sort of sci-fi
Yeah, he was just like a weird actor. Like
just kind of a weird actor. Yeah.
But he's famous for a couple of really like sort of weird, cool movies.
Yeah.
Not bad,
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's great actually. It's funny. My recommendation this week is also a movie because it was very appropriate from where we're at in life. It's They Live.
That movie's awesome.
This movie is pretty awesome, and it's
one of my top tens.
It's certainly the top 10, and so I bring this up because I've been reading articles online that has basically been saying how John Carpenter has completely nailed exactly where we're at in and this is so campy that they would never make this, but like as you can tell, people are doing this kind of stuff right now to make reference to this movie that was making this point between elites who are controlling the world and those who are just kind of going through it. And also the good guy fails in this movie. It's a rare case where you have a good guy go through the entire thing, but basically at the end he doesn't win, right?
I mean, he wins, but he also dies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wins in terms of he gets the world to see what it really is, but it is what it is. So
and the other actor, so it's Roddy Piper, and then the other guy is he's like a famous voiceover guy. He's played he's the president of the United States and Rick and Morty, and just I mean it's littered with just all kinds of awesome people in it. And seriously, Roddy Piper is fucking brilliant in that movie.
Yeah, I mean John Carpenter really had a true vision for
and he could
he
could put somebody like Piper in that movie.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So those are our recommendations for this week. And D, this is it. We have come to the end of our Very Dad Ideas run.
Was it about a year ago that we started doing this?
Yeah. I mean, we went we went officially in I guess January, was it? Or was it?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right.
We went officially in January.
So we did like 11 solid months as dads. I mean, we've been doing this for a year. Since August of last year, we started doing it. But we're gonna take down the dads, and we're gonna come back just as Nye and D or D and Nye, whatever we figure out.
It's called Nye and Darren, like
Nye and
live
Darren.
with Nye and Darren.
Yeah,
Let's figure that out by the end of the show, right? So it's gonna be live with Nye and Darren.
Well, I think we should just get the site, and our handle should be Nye and Darren.
Right.
Or Darren and Nye, and then we can say,
which sounds better, Nye and Darren or Darren and Nye. It actually just sort of sounds like a bunch of like random like syllabic sounds, like Darren and Nye, and it's just
So
who's named that? People are named Steve and Ken.
Steve and Ken. It's like, or was it like the Mad Dog or the the Cooter?
Boomer and the Nudge. It's Laser in the Cake.
Okay, so we'll come back with a new branding, and I think this is the dads were great. I think this has been a good first outing
fun
for a live streaming, right? I mean, I think this is the way it should end, just kind of like a cake, a flan.
Just sort of unfunnily, just sort of caving in on itself. Why? Yeah. What doesn't sell better than that?
Yeah,
you're welcome, America.
I hope that the change will give us a new opportunity to try some new things, give Darren some control on some stuff, and also like maybe we can just move forward into a new place with it. But I think it's definitely a good place to go. So
this has been really fun. I hope we can keep some elements from this show. I think we should occasionally break out dad advice. I think that's the thing to take away if you're listening this far into it. And Nye's wife is doing dishes.
Doing dishes and dishes.
Yeah. But I think that's the takeaway is that like we're gonna keep the things about this that we like doing, and we're changing the name. And
then we're gonna try to change cameras a little bit and do some different stuff.
And I'm gonna try to like take over segments so we can just sort of do more with the show.
Yeah. I think this is a good thing for us to do. So for the last time as dads, I think we're going to sign out.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us. And we will.
Yeah, as always.
We will see you next time as our new show. All right. Thanks very much. We'll talk soon.
Ah.
All right. Let's talk in a couple of days.
Okay.
We'll figure out how to get